Chris, did you want to crack your beer, bud?
Get in there, baby!
Come
on.
I wasn't paying attention. Sue me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here.
Off to a rousing start here.
On a wonderful 90-degree Saturday night.
I was kind of wondering why people were pointing at me there for a second.
We're waiting for you, baby. We know how upset you get if you don't get to start the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Again, well, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time listening, like, subscribe, tweet, find us on Twitter and Instagram at Podcast S&P, and you can connect with us at the S&P Podcast at gmail.com. We got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got all the shenanigans, and we're having a blast. Boys, it's been a great week. It's been a busy week. I don't know about you guys, but the weather is, I think it's full swing summer.
It's hot.
COVID's gone. At this point, I don't think I don't even see it on the news anymore. People are just out and about. Seattle, masks were not a thing. Lines, crowds. You know what I thought about yesterday when I was driving down the Lawrence, and it took me an hour and 40 minutes when it usually takes. It was taking in COVID times 45 minutes.
You want COVID traffic back?
I was like, would I give this all back up?
There are too many people in the world. Yeah, I thought that the other day too.
I was like, can I find a bat? Can we start? Can we figure this out?
Rewind 9 months, please.
I think I told Katrina the other day when I came home. I was like, you know what I don't miss? Traffic.
Oh yeah, it was
miserable yesterday. We got on the 290 go out to the office at 6:30 in the morning, and it was backed up all the way to First Avenue.
You know what that was though? Did you hear about that one?
No, what was that about?
On the 294 going north to Wisconsin, there was a truck with fireworks on it, rolled over.
And everybody just got out of their car and started picking up fireworks.
No, set on fire. So I shut down the entire 294 for but this happened at night, so it shut it down. But then it wreaked havoc on morning traffic.
Well, the problem with 294 is that there's no exits hardly for long. There's not many exits in that thing. So once you're on it, you're on it.
You're locked in.
Strap in and feel the cheese, baby.
This is definitely probably the old man portion of the. But
this is what's grinding our gears.
Yes, yeah, right. No, but I'm 1,000% sure people feel the exact same way. There's no way you're not sitting in traffic
Forget about traffic. I went to the grocery store the other day and I'm like, why are there so many people here?
Yeah,
this is horrible.
It really is. It's gonna be something.
Well, it's like the gym in the morning. I don't know if you noticed. There are so many more people now.
We're at the gym at 6 a.m. and it used to be a ghost town. Now it's it's a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, it took me. I went to Home Depot yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It took me 25 minutes on the highway to get down there. It's only 4 exits.
I was we're on Lakeshore this morning at 7:30, and it was it was just a madhouse. There's so many people running, which is great. I love that people are getting out, working out, but you do really miss it was our own little world for a while.
It's like the New Year's resolution, but now, Peter.
Yeah.
Gotta give it a couple weeks and then they'll be back at home it's too hot for this.
No, I really thought
I just want to be home now, I feel like I've been out so much.
Said no one ever.
No, I was listening to the sports radio actually, and they're talking about how in Chicago, June 11th, we're completely back open, which is great. It's super exciting. No restrictions, no nothing. I can't believe it took a year and a half almost. 3 years and 3 months.
I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't think it's going to be you flip a switch and it's going to be back to normal. I think restaurants and bars and stuff are going to be cautious, I would say. You know what
the issue is? Why that's true is because they can't hire enough people.
Yep, that's true.
They can't bars. One thing I want to talk about is we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Maybe we'll start with our drinks for the night. Let everybody know what we're sipping on pregame wise.
The Colorado Kool-Aid.
Hell yeah, we all got a little. We started. Pat was nice enough to bring up some beers before we got in, but me and Chris stopped for the guys, and we got the Samuel Adams Summer Ale limited release.
Limited to as many as they can sell in the summer.
Yes, it's a citrus sweet ale, and I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I've had this, so I'm excited to try it. And then Pat was nice enough to share. We've got Angel's Envy. This is a bottle I saw last night when I was out for dinner, and I looked at it for a little bit.
Yeah, it's a cool bottle.
So Pat, you had a little sip. So wait, it's Angel's Envy, little Kentucky straight bourbon. It's finished in port wine barrels, so it's probably got a little bit of a wine taste to it.
It's got a bit of an oaky taste in it.
Yeah, that's nice.
At least maybe it's oak. I don't know. I don't know my wood flavors.
I'm not an aficionado on the wood.
My wood flavors are not. It tastes like wood.
All right, let's give it a little taste. Smell.
It tastes like burning.
Really, smells really nice. Oh, that's another nice sweet whiskey. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm more of a that's got like almost a vanilla taste to it too. I really.
It's interesting. The second one was much smoother than the first one. I tried. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta get used to it.
Mine's
maybe got a little bit more water in yours this time.
Maybe.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I like it.
I think a little heavy on the pouring. I went a little heavy on the pouring.
I did notice that. I'm like, Jesus, Pat, what are you doing here?
I know. Yeah, somebody's got.
I was drinking with Katrina's dad the other night.
Yeah. So that's the other thing I was going to go. How was your weekend? How was Wisconsin?
It's good.
Wait. First of all, let's stop. Chris, what did you think of this?
I liked it a lot. It was really good. Yeah, you get the little subtle tint of vanilla at the beginning, and then
smooth.
Yeah, you get a nice little smoke.
Like it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I like it too. I definitely would recommend Angel's Envy. This is another. It's almost not like Penelope's a lot hotter. I feel like this came down very much.
Yeah, this is a milder whiskey. Yeah. So like with the Katrina dad pours, he'll take the glass up, and this is very good for a podcast visually speaking.
Yes.
So he'll take like his 3 fingers from the top of the glass, and he'll just like pour it up until the liquor gets to his hand.
Yes, that's like they call it.
3 finger.
Yeah, 3 finger pour.
But if you measure out like we measured out to like you don't consume anywhere near the amount of alcohol that you do when you're drinking him. So we were playing a board game of the night, and then like by like the third drink, like we'd gone through like a quarter bottle of whiskey.
Oh jeez, what were you guys drinking?
I brought up. I was like a mix of stuff.
15-year pack.
Wait. What did you get? What did you bring?
I let him try the Weller, and then I brought out the Blanton, had him try that, and then we did the Penelope, and then we did the Wilderness Trail. It's interesting because I like Wilderness Trail a lot when I tried it by itself, but when you try it for all the other ones, didn't like it as much as the other ones.
Yeah,
you got the fistful of bourbon from downstairs.
we got the blended scotch from Maker's Mark.
Yeah, from Kirkland.
What did your grandfather or Katrina's grandfather think?
It was
her dad.
I'm sorry, I thought it was the.
He liked the Weller a lot.
Wait, I'm sorry. So was this? So this is when they were in town?
When they came back with us because they were.
Oh, okay, cool.
They flew out last. Him and her dad and her sister flew out last Sunday.
Okay.
So they came.
So you guys so Sunday you guys had a couple drinks before.
Yeah.
Awesome. How was Wisconsin?
It's good.
Yeah.
Quiet, low key.
Just what did you guys do?
You go a little tubing down by the watering hole.
Yeah, exactly. No, we just kind of hung out at the
family stuff.
The barbecue. That was about it.
Okay.
Not too much.
That sounds nice.
Did Grandpappy pour you a 1 finger or 4 finger pour there?
He just because you whole glass.
Huh? He's a whole glass kind of guy.
He's like, don't be such a pussy.
That's awesome. Well, me and Chris went to Seattle last week, and
that was great. There's some good stories there.
Seattle is phenomenal.
Did you with Zach or no?
No, I didn't. I should have. I really should have, but I just didn't even contact him. I was like,
he probably wouldn't have done
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I found out that his girlfriend's or fiance's birthday was actually last weekend too. So you probably wouldn't have connected anyways with him.
No, we stayed out with a buddy who lives out there. He's Pat. He has an unbelievable spot. He's got like a corner lot, so he's got just mountain ranges.
Does he have a house or does he have a
condo? It's an apartment. Yeah. But he's got mountain ranges this way. You can see Mount Rainier to the left. And then on his other side, he's got like the beautiful city skyline.
And if you look straight down, he's got a great view of the highway.
That's kind of like if you look at Katrina's parents' house in Alaska, when they like their deck is basically you walk out and it's like a mountains like right there.
I mean, it's insane. It's
very different than like.
And then you get out there. So we get out there. We're gonna go to Mount Rainier, but of course, the day we picked to go out there, it's foggy. So they had snow everywhere. We're in shorts and a t-shirt, but he said it wouldn't be an issue. But he said you go out there and it's so foggy you can't see anything, so it's not worth it. The only day we're out there that it's foggy is and only over there. It's not foggy anywhere else. Yeah. Was that day?
That happened to me and Katrina. Went to San Francisco. We were we went there. We were like 4 days there, and the first we did all the tourist stuff. And then we're gonna go across the Golden Gate Bridge. We went to the Muir Woods, which are a little bit up the. We went to there with these like really old trees and stuff. And on the way back, we went to the lookout post for the Golden Gate Bridge, where you can go up like the hills, and there's like 4 or 5 posts, and you can see the whole bridge. And that's the only day there was fog, and you couldn't see shit. So. Oh yeah.
So Max was like, "Nah, forget it. It's just gonna be a waste of your time. It's a 2-hour drive. It's gonna waste your time." He's like, but you guys want to go like check out some of these islands and like we could do a car ferry, and we've never done a car ferry before.
It's a car ferry.
So like you drive onto a ferry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So then you got it.
So we get there.
So it's literally a ferry just holds cars.
Yeah. We get there. We get to the Enterprise. We get a car. I go to Chris. I'm like, do we get roadies? Like we get all.
I'm like, absolutely.
Chris knows how to pregame. So but on vacation, we usually do a beer before.
So vacation Chris is on.
I was all full on.
Vacation Chris knows everything.
Vacation Chris is like Vacation Stanley in the office. It's like a whole new animal.
So we get the car. We stop at the gas station, and Max had said you could buy beer on the ferry. And I was like, well, I don't want to have beers in the car, tempting Joe. Like, Joe's driving. He's been a good guy.
Kind of know where this is going already here. For like,
you definitely know where this is going.
We get to the ferry. They ain't selling beer, Pat. They have a beautiful, beautiful Coors Light picture and sign, but you can't drink because of COVID. So we didn't have...
You can't drink because of COVID?
Well, no, so
they didn't have
they weren't selling
the galley
open.
open.
Okay.
We didn't have our first vacation beer until like 3 p.m. because we go to this island.
Were you looking like Dave Chappelle and then
Tyrone is scratching everywhere.
So we go to this beautiful ferry, or we get to this beautiful island, but it's island.
It's beautiful. Is there beer on this island?
They did have beer, but they're on island time.
So they're an island time type of people. 3:00. This brewery.
Nothing open till 3.
What time did you get there?
Like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, so Peter's like pacing.
So we go take a nice.
Good time going in slower.
We take a beautiful hike. And it's ridiculous. Like you could tell the air is so much different from here to there. Like you just felt so good. And then we get to the brewery. We clean them out of their saison. Like just clean them out. Go off for like a nice dinner. Get back, and they're still a little bit tighter on the restrictions. So like the bars, like you have to get into a bar by like 8:30 or forget it, and you can't move. Which we were not smart enough to realize until like Sunday night.
Did Max not tell you that?
No, I don't think Max was really doing a lot of the bar hopping at this point. So, so Friday night we go.
Now.
Yeah, we're waiting for our buddy, our poor buddy Brian. He's coming out later. He takes the CTA,
which was his own fault.
Well,
Brian
likes to play it tight.
But he had booked his time, and he was going to get. He was on schedule. He was going to get an Uber to the airport. It's $90 from his house to the airport.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm right by the train. Forget that. I'm going to get on the train. Gets on the train. He's pushing it a little close on the train, but he's going to get there with enough time. Except he doesn't count for that. There's a medical emergency on his train, literally at the Rosemont stop, to stop before O'Hare. And he misses his flight.
So Brian is, I would say he's probably a relatively wealthy guy at this point in his life. I think he's okay. I think he could have afforded.
He's all right.
I think he could have afforded the $90 Uber to get there on time.
Yeah,
but like when you're by the train there and you can take the train, I mean that's always an option too.
So
I live by the train.
So he missed his flight, but he was like, I'm not going home. I'm not going to let this ruin my day.
But it's also not going to be a $90 Uber ride for you to the airport.
You never know. I mean, these Uber prices have been outrageous lately.
True, very true.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, how does Uber get?
I mean, from Wrigleyville to what I saw was from Wrigleyville that one night to my house was like $60.
Yeah,
that's only like 2 miles.
Yeah,
that's not a very long drive.
From Lawrence last night, from Lakeshore Drive to Belmont and Southport, $25.
What?
That's insane.
Belmont and Southport. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, there's Trouba's right there.
Oh,
that's where Joe ran out of the car the one night.
Yeah. Tuck and roll,
baby.
So you got anything to say about that?
Crickets doesn't have anything to say, ladies and gentlemen. He's been really quiet tonight.
No. So he got out there. So we waited for him to go to the bars. We go out.
Big mistake.
Yeah, we go out, waiting for the bar. Try to get to the bars. Every bar was like, no. So it was like,
when's it gonna be my turn?
Yeah. By 11:30, we're like, all right, just time to go back. And we had that was kind of like the whole weekend, like where we'd go out, enjoy, and then we'd come back, like get ready, and then try to get to a bar.
Do you think it's a server thing there too?
Like, that's I'm sorry. That's the point of that whole thing was
the point of that 15-minute segue out.
Was to get to that. They don't have enough servers. They don't have enough people. So like, yeah, it's like 2 people, like one person manning the door, one person manning the bar, and like they just.
I think just driving around in general, I don't think I've ever seen so many like help wanted or like active signs from restaurants and like bars. They're like, hey, please Please come work here.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing signing bonuses. I know because where I work there, the restaurant industry is where we work with the restaurant industry. And and these restaurants are saying they have to give people sign-on bonuses or guarantee them certain X amount of wages.
Yeah.
Just to overcome the unemployment thing.
Yes, and then lawyers, a lot of lawyers. I don't know what this has anything to do with, but to get because I think with the pandemic, working from home and everything's a little bit more chill. To go get a lawyer to work now 80-hour 90-hour weeks, they're offering them $200,000 on top, as a bonus.
So we hired a lawyer at my office.
Didn't give him $200,000.
No, we certainly did not.
Well, what is it? I mean, the other issue we had in Seattle when we were looking at bars and stuff is Google would say hey, we're open until 12, 2 o'clock. And you go to the bar, and either the bar would be completely closed, or be we're closing. We just called last call. It's
so they're not doing updated hours.
Yeah, they have. So you're just out on the wing trying to guess and just try to get into a place.
I imagine a lot of cities that are like that though, with the server stuff and the restrictions still are kind of in place, kind of not in place. I bet you I bet you San Francisco is similar, or any place in California is probably similar.
Yeah. So if you're going to Seattle, go to Pike's Place. Go get a pork bun. 1,000% get a pork bun. The best thing we had there.
Yeah.
Seafood's out of this world. But I think I can't wait to go back because I think we just scratched the surface. I can't wait to go back in non-COVID times where everything is just wide open.
I think a lot of cities like what I said, San Francisco, I think the first time I went there, I did all the touristy stuff. It's Alcatraz. Yeah. I think when you go, I like the city a lot, so I think I'd go back and explore the city a little more, like Chinatown and I did Chinatown. I did the touristy stuff. I think I'd go actually get to enjoy the local city a little bit more.
I would. The only thing that was kind of crazy is you really do see the homelessness, the tent stuff, and it makes you think what can we literally we had an hour drive to the ferry. And we the four guys just talked about what could you do?
Well, we have that here too.
Yes, but it's
it's more there because they have a mountain climate.
Yes, Pat 110 had a deck. We talked about that for the Twin News. You think he's going to get permits? Where is he getting the wood? Wood's really expensive.
No, I don't think he's getting permits.
Does he have to talk to the community?
The question is, The question is it all put together with nails and is he hammered in it, or does he got a power drill somewhere in there?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a real question.
Or is he talking to his neighbors? Do his neighbors care that he's got a deck?
Is it a co-op deck?
Yeah. So
do they have a town? Is there an association fee for this tent?
Yeah, Peter was really hot and bothered about the deck.
Because it was a nice deck. I'm like, how did he do it? How does this happen?
We're going back. I got to talk about his deck.
No, literally, I was about to knock on the door. The other thing is the homeless there, I think, are a little crazier than the homeless here.
Oh, that one guy screaming behind.
There was a guy and at the park. Literally, we're just walking around this beautiful harbor, and this dude, you could hear him all everywhere you went, and it went on for an hour just screaming.
When I was in California, it's interesting because California, I thought they were really chill. I thought they were there, but they didn't ask you for anything. Whereas here, almost every time you go by downtown, they ask you for stuff.
We didn't have any issues with them coming up to us and asking us for stuff, but they were
just kind of
they were just you could just tell the unfortunate thing of the mental.
Yeah, they had some mental health issues,
and it sucks.
Well, mental health is a huge issue in this country in general,
and you'd love to see more put into that. But again, that's.
But hey, we have to give money to everybody else and everything else. So.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to pay for these days.
Very true.
When looking at the stock market and the Bitcoin stuff, and we just wanted to say, Elon Musk, we hate you.
Yeah.
If you could
go screw yourself.
If you could just stop, for the love of God, that would be great.
Hear that, or else get us free.
Yeah, give us some advice. Maybe tweet everybody. I'm about to crap the market in Bitcoin. Let them.
Do you guys see the new Ford F-150, the electric one?
No, is it?
It's dude, cool.
Yeah,
they can power your house for 3 days, evidently.
Oh,
dude, in the event of a power outage.
Ford is looking good.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about
their stock has never moved. I don't get it. The funny thing, the Ford F-150 brand is worth more than the entire Ford company. If they were to sell it, they were to sell it, ass it off, just that line of vehicles.
Well, didn't they stop doing a lot of? Aren't they only doing pickups and bigger?
They stopped doing cars, I think, except the Mustang. They're phasing them out.
They call
you mean I can't go out and get a Ford Focus anymore,
or a Ford Fusion like me? You can't. My car is classic. It's an antique, baby.
Nostalgic.
It's gonna be worth zero.
This item.
It's gonna appreciate $0 in several years.
You know what I always thought? This is so dumb, but when I was running today, this is probably the dumbest thing I'm gonna say. But when I was running today, I was thinking, about the Ford Mustang because I saw a nice Ford Mustang on Lakeshore Drive.
Wait, the Mach or the actual Mustang?
I don't know. I'm Pat.
One looks like an SUV.
You're asking too many goddamn
just
questions.
Mustang, but I was thinking about the electric
Mustang, which looks like an SUV. Looks like your car. It actually looks like your car.
Yeah.
It looks like your Subaru.
The electric Mustang.
Yeah, they call it a Mustang, the Mach E Mustang. It looks like your car.
Well, the electric one, don't they call it the Bronco?
No, that's the Bronco's the Bronco.
No, I think they call the electric Mustang is Bronco.
Well, I think they might have an electric Bronco, but
we know what?
Google this.
They call it
because then my whole thinking there would have been
the one quasi. It looks like your guy's car with it's like a crossover.
Why are you trying to tell us that they're making a Mustang hashtag?
That's called a Mustang Mach E, and it looks nothing like a Mustang at all. Like they got the stupid logo in the front, but it looks nothing like a Mustang. It's really an insult to a Mustang.
Well, I gotta take a look.
You want to take a look at this?
Yes, let's take a look. This is
great video for the pod.
Pat Lynch will post a picture of it later.
Peter will post it because I don't know how to get to the Twitter account.
Come on, Pat, you boomer.
Yeah. See, that's what they call the Mach E Mustang. It looks like your guy's car, essentially.
It looks like Joe's car had sex with our car.
Yeah,
that's a good
analogy, baby.
So if you take a
Kia Stinger
and a
Subaru Crosstrek
and made it,
and they had a baby, it would be a Mustang Mach-E, and they found an electric engine somewhere along the way.
I like it. Okay, no, I was totally wrong. I literally thought that they named the Ford Mustang.
Now look up the Bronco because the Bronco looks like garbage too.
I don't like the Bronco anymore either.
I'm not a huge fan of the Bronco either.
I used to love that car.
The Bronco is not spelled Bronco as the electrician.
Sorry. So used to writing them checks. That's how I do it, you know? Alrighty. I think I spelled it wrong too. Let's go see it.
I mean, I think we get that.
It's right there.
Yeah. Got it. We got it.
It looks terrible.
There's different versions of it. To me, it looks like they're trying to do a Jeep.
Almost Jeep, yeah.
It's too much like a Jeep.
You can't get a good Bronco anymore because of how it's all made of metal and it's all rusted
because
out.
It has 2 miles per gallon with the metal. Problem.
That too.
The fact that OJ didn't run out of gas is impressive. That's the real part of this thing.
Am I gonna run for the?
Did you guys ever see that series, OJ? Like the one where they did on Netflix where they did the John Travolta was the lawyer.
Oh, the FX one. Yeah, I did watch that. That was good.
My favorite thing is they took WWE did a match with Roddy Piper and Goldust, and when they did WrestleMania in Hollywood, it's like WrestleMania 12.
Car?
Huh? He ran him over. Yeah, he ran over Roddy Piper with the car. And
did you really hit him with the car?
Yeah, he hit him with the car.
Oh,
he broke Roddy Piper's arm.
And Vince McMahon was pissed because he's like, don't really hit him with the car.
Yeah, he's like,
Roddy's like, hit me with the car.
the car. So he hits him with the car and breaks his arm. But in between, there were in some Hollywood.
Didn't they not film? They filmed the outside part of the match before.
Yeah,
and so and then they threw them
But they took the cut of OJ's Bronco chase scene with the cops and spliced it into the programming. And it's like you could have chose anything worse than OJ and his Bronco run to show Goldust running away from Roddy Piper. He's coming back to the arena. It's like.
There was another good one where they did. It was a movie. It was like you guys ever played the Hitman video game movie where you're like the bald guy?
Yes, I love that. Yeah. So we're used to do something to get all hyped up, right?
So they made a movie. They made the first movie of it was it had the guy from Deadwood in it. Actually, was the guy and. The beginning scene was what they supposed to have this backstory where he was genetically a kid that was bred for this. But what they did is they took a scene from the TV show. What was it called? It was with Jessica Alba in it. I forget the name of the thing it was called, but it was a show with her in it. They took the opening credits for that, put it in this movie, the verbatim same cut scene. we got the orange scene. Let's take some old footage. We're fine. Let's move on with the movie. This shows you how shittily movie this movie's made.
You know what I saw on the flight to Seattle? I watched Casino.
Great movie.
Awesome movie. Forever.
But
if you go back and watch that beginning clip where Robert De Niro gets blown up, you see Robert De Niro turn the car and then it fades away and it's a dummy.
Yeah.
And they blow the car up.
Yeah.
It's insanely funny. I watched it 3 times. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
That's how cheap.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
It's a good movie though. I like Casino.
I thought it was great.
I only watched
I like Goodfellas. I like Goodfellas better, but Casino's good though.
Now. That was pretty much all based on a real story, right? I'm sure it was Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, so was Goodfellas.
Who was Goodfellas supposed to be based on?
Henry Hill.
Oh yeah,
he's the Irish guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's they were in. It's obviously fictionalized for a thing, but he did that Lufthansa thing was real. The heist was real there, and then all that stuff was real. Casino was real too. There was whoever that guy was, Sam.
Yes, no, I know that was. Oh, for sure, it was real. Yeah,
he was a bookkeeper and stuff like that. Or a bookie, I should say.
I watched.
You know, it's funny. So my first job out of college was I was an auditor for Central State Funds, and Central State Funds is in that movie. You can see it in the clips, and they were because they own all the pensions from the unions, and there was a lady when I worked there. She was an old timer, and she did not like to do anything. But at this point, she was.
You've seen her work companies a lot of those.
Yeah,
people.
well, but you know a lot of these old timers they just keep them around. This lady was there when the FBI ran into Central States.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you could talk to her. She's like, yeah, we all got handcuffed. And it's like, all right, lady.
I watched Deadpool and Demolition Man.
Pretty solid lid right there.
Yeah, for sure. That would have sucked. So that brings me to the next thing we were going to talk about, if we're talking about documentaries and such, is the Son of Sam's episode 2. I watched it last night.
Oh, spoilers. I've only seen the first one.
Well, you're going to get into the second one.
Yeah. Who cares? I already know that the guy did it. They ruined it in the first episode. They couldn't wait for the second one.
Spoiler alert, 30 years after they got arrested for it.
They caught him.
I still don't understand where Joe's anger is coming in out of this.
It's garbage. It's boring as hell.
It's not that boring. But
it is boring as sin.
I honestly had to struggle towards the end of it to kind of keep my eyes open.
I just think that it feels like they're using a lot of coincidence, like things that are happening. Like at least this, I haven't watched the third episode yet, but
yeah,
that reporter seems like he's kind of using.
He's a little cherry picky.
Yeah, he's like picking this and picking that, and he's like using that to like mix it together to be a cohesive thing. Which I'm not sure that's really there. In my opinion.
I mean, a lot of people go to jail for circumstances. Like you got to think that guy shot 2 women in the face.
I still get the
Carl guy or the Sam guy. Was it Sam?
Berkowitz, yeah.
No. The
the guy that was
he shot 2 women in the face. And then, they're very close to this guy. And then, that letter. I get that's all, you have to take it to an nth degree to kind of get there. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was okay, I can kind of see why this guy might... it wasn't, so out there that there's no way this could be real.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know.
That DEA also said, they were going to look into it. He also didn't know if Berkowitz was on his own on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... I mean, I think New York was definitely one I closed, obviously, for a lot of reasons, but...
That was a garbage ass city back in that day.
Yeah, it just seems weird. It just seems there's a lot of conspiracies. It seems strange with this guy. I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm not buying that.
Pat Lynch is not buying the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. What are you not buying? It does not say that. There's nothing that I've seen that says, okay, this is absolutely they're pulling it out of left field. I feel like there's a possibility. So they are known to these 2 brothers. Also, why is that guy in Minnesota, right? It was Minnesota, gets killed.
Somewhere else, I don't know.
North Dakota.
Oh, was it North Dakota? It was North Dakota.
I think, it was in North Dakota.
Where David Berkowitz came and visited him. He gets murdered, or he commits suicide, supposedly. And then his brother commits suicide, too. The only thing
I thought his brother got killed in a car accident. The other one got killed in a car accident.
Yes, but...
That's at least what I read online.
He did, but didn't they think it was a suicide?
The guy in Dakota was a suicide, I thought.
What about the other guy? Because he went 97 miles into a pole.
Yeah, they say suspicious, but they rule it as... The guy's so suspicious based on the things, but that's also circumstantial. He could have been drinking, who knows?
Well, they wouldn't have tested his blood to see if he was drinking.
Maybe it's the 70s.
The only thing I think...
It was the 70s, man.
Who's killing those guys? The one guy who committed... so who do you think is killing them? But that's where it gets to, episode 3. Is that, the cult? Yeah. Or...
there's been never any proven cases of, cults like this, that are, murderous. Say that's just a myth. The Satan cult's a myth. That they commit a bunch of crimes.
Would you consider... what's his name? A man?
No, I would not consider him a Satan cult. He's a...
Well, he was a killer.
Yeah, but saying people.
No, that guy was a cult.
Killing people for the devil is different than Manson wanted to be famous, and he had people.
Well, but I think where it gets to is Manson was trying to start a race riot.
Yeah.
So
it has nothing to do with Satan, though. He's not worshiping Satan.
What about
that? But I think it all kind of ties into.
I'm saying Satan cults. There's not people who there's no I don't believe.
What about
that Satan cult with Jonestown? Where the guy made him drink the Kool-Aid because they were going to get on the spaceship.
He was a religious guy. And you're mixing two different things.
I know. I'm putting the same thing in there. Just
you're mixing two. The Kool-Aid thing was different. That was in the 90s. That was the guy that thought that when the Haley, I believe it was Haley Bopp comment.
Okay. So Jonestown was
Jonestown moved out his whole church there. They were fanatical. He brainwashed people into going to this place in South America. And what he was doing is that people were trying to leave.
He just started killing people.
And what he did was he tried to some senator went down there trying to investigate what's going on.
They got killed.
And he put on it was great. And when he was leaving, like some people were like passing the note, like, "Hey, I want to get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "Okay." And what comes with me? So they shot him at the airport.
Yeah.
And then as a result of that, he's like, "We're all killing each other. We're all killing ourselves."
Yeah. So let's get back to Sons of Sam real quick here.
Took that way off topic.
Yeah, that was way. But that's okay because that was interesting. I'm actually watching on HBO. They have just terrible people, and I'm listening to.
There's one on Netflix about him too.
Yeah, James Jones or is it Jim Jones? Jim Jones.
Yeah.
And like his life, like where he came up, like if Jim Jones would have died in like I think it's like the 70s, what he did for racial rights. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'm trying to think of the word.
Racial equity, I believe is your.
Yeah, or what did Martin Luther King was looking for? Like equity,
civil rights.
Civil rights. I'm sorry, exactly.
Civil rights.
So what he did for civil rights, he would have had a statue right now because he was doing such great things. But then he went to California, kind of lost his mind. Just a little bit. But so
they made him drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, they forced a lot of people to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes, he did. But to come back to Sons of Sam's, like, what did you think of the German Shepherd stuff? Like in that little area. Where people, like, I kind of feel like...
the dog talking to him, telling him to kill people?
He said... Well, a spoiler, but he says that was all made completely wrong.
No, he does, yes. Well, but if you watch Mindhunters, he talks about how it was sexual for him. So I kind of get why. But I still think I could see some of this. Like... I
don't know. I'll see how it finishes out, but I'm not convinced, personally.
Episode 2 doesn't... Like, so if you could stop right now, would episode 2 bring you on, or would you say, forget it? Where are you at on it?
Episode 1 said, I'm done.
I mean, it is very slow moving.
God,
it is so tedious.
Some of these documentaries, like the one we watched.
I feel like I'll listen to like an 80-year-old veteran tell me about his thing.
I feel like it's like even like the
Richard Ramirez was a quick moving one.
I felt like they kind of dragged that one out to like the 3rd or 4th episode. We're like, we finally got it. I thought they could have got him in the 2nd.
I feel like this was 4 episodes. It could have been 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like the Night Stalker one could have been 2 or 3 too. I feel like they kind of stretched that one out. But I mean, like Brandon, he killed 100 people, so you don't want.
It was more about the detectives and all that. So that's what they're trying to do. That's good. I mean, I love kind of that opinion on it and kind of looking at that. So we'll see.
Can you stop giving us homework and making us watch these dirty documentaries?
You should watch Murder Mountain.
We're next is Sasquatch, bro.
Well, those kind of tie in together.
Okay, Sasquatch. It's gonna be a good one, man.
Come on, man. Can we talk about about the crazy dentist from Chicago who freaking or the ear, nose, and throat doctor that Pat Lynch turned us on to? That crazy stuff.
What about the one I sent you?
Yeah,
that one was insane.
That was a piece of shit too.
That was good. It's insane. Or if
you're leaving a trail of bodies, like everybody, if you meet somebody and like if you're moving around and every time you leave somebody there's a trail of bodies, it's probably that dude. Like, let's be honest, it's that fucking dude.
No, that guy was. Can you? Imagine?
I was so blinded. He was so great. Like, you love that guy for his money.
So that was one thing too. Is like the woman.
What kind of this guy laying down on this girl that she's completely oblivious to everything.
Yeah. Well, that woman, she just loved it. Did you? I'm not trying to stereotype, but like you could tell this woman was infatuated by everything that, like, the money. And then, like...
But which one are we talking about?
The ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Oh, yeah.
The sinus doctor.
She was infatuated
with the first wife.
Yeah, no, I know.
She was all about the moolah.
The second one, when I was listening to it, I'm like, this voice sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. I thought that, too. But what kind of person could... I'm not this person who could just pick up and go. Like, and he got away with it for 5 years.
Well, I mean, he had to. He had no choice.
That's true.
He was completing. I mean, if you want to know, like, hey, my nose is kind of running. It's like, you know what? You need sinus surgery. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Are you going to examine me? No. Just he's on the phone, like, hey, I think you need sinus surgery.
Me and Pierce sat there, and like they were talking, like he's like he billed $13 million in 1 year. I'm like, and I paused. I'm like, Peter, Can you imagine being a loan tax preparer and billing your clientele $13 million a year?
No, it's insane.
There's no way you could do it. Like, no profession would you be able to do that.
Did you listen to the one this week about? I think it was this week or last week. Was the one about the lady that she like went missing in like 16 and then they found her body at 18?
No, I haven't got time. Did you?
I called the reason why exactly. So they said it. I'm like, I know what's happening here.
Did you? Oh, is this the one where she had the boyfriend and then she was on Tinder or no?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't finished that one yet, so we'll get to that. But wait, did you listen to the one where the woman was married to a guy who was 10 years older? They had a really great life, but she was missing that little jazz.
Oh, how did that one end?
Oh, so that.
Wait, this is the one with the guy.
She was dating the Ukrainian guy.
Yeah, she was
on the side.
Gold dealer, the gold manufacturer. No, that was different. Yeah, so like the guy got shot, right? Right away. The husband got
stabbed, and then got stabbed in the penis,
yeah.
And that one,
that's just not called for.
But that guy, that's exactly.
So like she tried to she knew
man's already dead. Why do you gotta do that to him?
No.
But she was convinced it was him. She tried to get him she tried to set it up where she met him in the jail and tried to get him to talk and then went out to dinner, wore a wire, and he would never confess.
Well, she was with the guy for
but then and then she ended up
going back to him.
Going back to
him. And then they came back with a circumstantial case and I knew you. So it's a weird feeling to me because yes, I think he should have been convicted because you got to imagine this guy was killed in the morning. He wasn't robbed. There was no reason. So there's no other excuse. There's no other explanation than this guy. So then, yeah, it's at that point, okay, yes. But it also kind of kills me that they couldn't find a knife. They couldn't find any blood on the guy. They couldn't find anything.
Well, it was also the early 80s, right?
Yeah, so it's a little different, yeah.
Very different, forensically speaking. And that kind of...
Oh, so they nailed the guy.
Oh, they got... Yeah,
but also, he lived his life till he was 60-something, got arrested. Yeah. You got all the good years out of him.
Somebody in I read an article, and 25 years ago, unfortunately, a 10-year-old girl was killed in Naperville and left in a park, and they just DNA test the guy. He was in Minnesota, and you should have seen this guy. He looked like an old professor. It just sometimes you just wonder how these type of people. So then you wonder also, I look at this guy and I'm like, he's a nerd looking dude. Do you think he had other victims? That's kind of
for sure. People don't just stop.
Yeah. So
generally speaking, people don't stop.
No, but the one guy.
This isn't when you kill a girl like that, you're doing it for a sexual reason. You're not gonna.
Yeah, but some
this
dudes
get
scared.
Potato chips. You just can't stop at one, Peter.
I think some serial killers who've got it can do it, but some get so scared and are so freaked out by it they don't.
I think when you kill I think the guy that killed the husband, you can get away with it like that. That was a purpose for a reason to do it, and that's all he wanted to do. He doesn't want to kill anybody else. Maybe he'll come up to you see a lot of cases though where it's where the guy, the guys with wives, right? Multiple wives. I killed my first wife. 30 years later, got away with it.
Yeah.
Fuck this bitch. Let's try the second one.
Try it again. Oh, like Drew Peterson.
And you always get caught on the second one.
No. So
when you're leaving dead wives every time, it's not a good sign, guys. It's not a good luck.
No, what about the teacher that was in Minnesota, and she got killed, and then the principal came. And was
oh yeah, the principal was the
that guy only killed one. That DJ only killed one person.
Yeah,
because sometimes you get so freaked out about what you did, you just never do it.
Well, again. Yeah, I mean, some people it truly is I think it's truly they snap in the moment. And,
yeah,
and it happens, and they got to pay for it. You have to pay for it.
Okay, so I keep trying to remember the one I sent you and Joe to listen to. What was that one again?
That was the one with the guy he was living with his wife, and the daughter was kind of off the ocean. She was a little trouble.
Oh yes. Oh, this guy was terrible.
Yeah. And so she went missing, and then they found out that the person before that was missing, and then his brother was missing.
He was an FBI. He was an FBI informant,
which didn't really.
He killed one of the people that he was supposed to watch. This dude was messed up. You got to listen to this one, Chris.
Yeah, he's not.
I'll send
not
it
a good
to
human being.
Awful human being.
I feel like we've kind of gone all over the rails. So the one case was the one with the doctor in Chicago, the science doctor in Indiana. They had this huge clinic. He left his wife.
Well, he married his wife. They had 2 weddings, one in Italy. She loved all this money. She got all this plastic surgery. They had a great life. And for her 30th birthday, he took her out to Italy and just completely ditched her.
No, Greece.
Oh, I'm sorry, Greece. And completely ditched her.
Yeah. And then they found him living in some village in Italy.
Yeah.
like really remote.
He was trying to be Survivor Man of Europe,
and which was not going so well for him evidently, because his person that he was with had to, bring him supplies and stuff.
Yeah, and then she ratted him out. The best part of that is that woman who, his first wife, who you do really feel bad for, because like nobody should be treated like that. She's like, it took 2 strong women to. And it's like, lady, like you.
Also, he totally fucked her with like debt and stuff.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, when she's like, I was in $30 million in debt, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so you got to feel
right. That's the reason. Where's this motherfucker at? I'm gonna kill him.
Okay, and then there's the one that we listened to this week that the husband and wife like were married. Guy was 10 years older. The wife was 34. Gorgeous.
She needed a little something on the side.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. She was looking for a little flair. Needed to be needed. The other dude was just chill as hell, like the most chill dude in the world.
He was a real cuckold.
And his wife found a boyfriend. He wasn't really keen, really mind. But she wanted to leave, so she left. He's like, all right, whatever, you're gone. She's like, I actually kind of like having money and a real nice home, so I'm going to come back.
This guy's got a 401k and you got an apartment. I'm going with the guy with the 401k.
And he's like, he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, come back, no big deal. And then the dude killed him. And he got 25 years with that girl, with that lady.
Did the wife get it?
No, because she didn't plan it.
She didn't technically partake, but she reaped the benefits of it. And
then we talked about a serial killer who has a huge list. He probably killed about 50 people, and just a really terrible person. And can you imagine that? Can you imagine that mom, who brought this devil of a person in, and her daughter got killed by him?
Yeah, she didn't seem too upset about it on the podcast. I think it was weird.
I kind of thought that too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would be so devastated that
she didn't seem too upset that guy.
I mean, relatively speaking, I mean, you hear people like break down on that show and like cry a lot. Like, she was kind of just like very matter of fact about it. Like, yeah, I brought him in.
So,
like, goddamn.
Yeah, just terrible. So
I mean, that girl that got killed's dad was like crying the whole episode.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was insane.
And she's like, yeah,
he wasn't. Yeah, you kill your daughter, you get your daughter killed. It happens. Whatever.
She was insured. It was cool.
I was listening.
Another Tuesday for me.
What do you think of the Summer Out, bud?
It is different. You don't get much of the I'm not getting much of the citrus right now.
On the scale of the summer. Well, you don't like summer shandy anyways, but
no.
On the summer shandy, 312 shandy, shock top, I'll throw in there because it's kind of summery-ish. Where would you rank this one?
Yeah, you know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a like harder hitting 312, like the yellow.
I feel like every time we talk about a beer, then we're like, it's kind of like a 312.
No, but I mean, like it literally is like a harder hitting.
Yeah, I'm saying like I feel like whenever we talk about a wheat beer,
because it's not summer shandy from Line and Kogel. It's not the shandy stuff that we got from 312.
That was very lemony.
It was very lemony. This doesn't have very much citrus to it. It definitely tastes like a blander, stronger.
It's funny, like it seems like all these beers are trying to be like a 312. It's like they're trying to kind of make their own 312, but 312 is just better at it.
Yeah, this doesn't have much going for it. I mean, like I like it. I may have another, but I wouldn't.
I might have like 10 of them, just to be.
No,
it could be Bill Burr in the commercial. Like, it's one of those things. Like, might as well have another one just to try it out. It's like that crap someone brings to your house one day, and then 3 months later, you're like, you got a beer? Like, I got this shit someone else brought over to my house one day.
No, we have a Coors Light machine, and I can have all the Colorado Kool-Aid I want.
Colorado Kool-Aid?
Yeah. There is no need for me to be drinking 10 of these.
So if Coors Light is the Colorado Kool-Aid, what would you call Coors Banquet? That can't be the Kool-Aid, right? Because it's not light. No. It'd be like the Colorado
Kool-Aid, baby.
No, that's Coors Light. We're trying to figure out what Coors would be.
Like a banquet beer. If the Kool-Aid is the light one, what's the original one?
That's a good question. What's a? I mean, I don't know.
The hell's the step up from Kool-Aid?
Juice? Colorado juice? That juice? No, they don't like that one.
Crickets in the juice.
The Colorado grape drink.
Hey, homework for our fans. Give us an idea for the Coors Banquet.
Colorado drink.
The banquet of Kool-Aid.
The banquet of Kool-Aid.
Banquet de Kool-Aid.
All right, Pat. Have you ever seen the Sean Connery interview with Barbara Walters. This is not PC at all.
No, it's not. This is not. This
I don't think
good.
so, but Sean Connery's one of those guys that strikes me as a.
Okay, so
this is great.
This was like
what year was this?
1991-ish, somewhere in the early 90s.
We don't condone what he says,
yes,
but we find it so funny.
It's hilarious,
yeah.
And like this literally took over Seattle
weekend. He's talking about beating his wife or whatever.
No. Maybe adjusting an attitude
via physical violence.
So in an original interview with Barbara Walters, he said he had no problem slapping a lady.
So Barbara wanted to ask him if
he did that in all of his movies, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but he asked. Barbara was nice enough to ask if he felt the same way.
Yeah, 15 years later, she's like, "Do you still have the same feeling?"
Barbara,
and you can see the look on his face. He's like,
he was smiling. They're having a great interview, and then she's like, "Sean,
do you regret saying that?"
And Barbara, I regret.
And you can see
he's like Barbara.
My life's greatest regret was not smacking you 15 years ago. Nobody's like, no, I stand by that stance.
So the whole weekend,
I kind of like Sean. I still like Sean Connery.
He's
he's a.
So the whole entire weekend,
I think he's a pretty badass
it's
dude.
Joe and me just trying to figure out different ways of pretty much mocking this whole entire thing. It's like, Barbara, we're the 5-finger shade of the fish. Shut up.
Joe's so
and
good.
Joe's
so
impression
good.
spot on.
Did you?
Mine's garbage.
It's not funny. Hitting women is not funny, but just watching how serious he got about it.
Sean Connery is for an older. He was a pretty badass older dude. Like when he did The Rock, he was like 65.
Yeah, it was like his last movie.
Well, he did. What is it? Didn't he do like the Red movies? Red and Red 2 with like.
No,
was it?
He was not in those.
Was he not? I thought he was.
Bruce Willis and
Bruce. No, but I thought he was one of the people in the movie.
You know what we could do?
I watched it. I literally watched it.
I'm not arguing. I thought he was.
I never saw the second one. I did like
the first one's good. The second one's not as good.
I thought he was in one of them. I didn't.
No, he's not in either of those. That was after he retired. He did the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and he retired.
That's what it is. Then I'm thinking of. Because he was like 80 in those.
You know what's funny? I believe he was. It was funny because he was offered this is a completely unrelated thing, but he was offered, I think, the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, and he didn't understand the script, so he's like, I'm not doing that. And then he's like, and then this League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he's like, I still don't understand it, but the last time it cost me a lot of money when I said I didn't understand it. So he did the movie, and it was fucking terrible. And he's like, all right, I'm retiring. Fuck it, I don't understand this movie shit anymore. But he's got a bunch of great movies, like Untouchables. He
turned down Dumbledore and Harry Potter.
Sorry,
yeah. Well, and the Architect in the Matrix trilogy.
That's interesting. So when he was like, I remember the Untouchables when he's like, before he gets killed in that movie, he's like, the guy's like comes with a knife. He's like, typical Dago.
Man, he turned off Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, Dumbledore, and the Architect. He turned down
That's probably like $100 million in money right there.
Oh Lord!
when you factor all the movies those respond, that was like $100,000. He also turned down the Indiana Jones the when they did the fourth one. He could have been in that movie, but he declined it. Wish Harrison Ford would have declined it too.
Did you ever see that?
Shia LaBeouf?
Did you ever see the top 10 what you do or what you like or actors that could have been like Horson or who could have been in Star Wars but turned it down because he was in another movie.
No, you're thinking Indiana Jones. Tom Selleck couldn't do Indiana Jones because he was on
Magnum P.I.
I think somebody couldn't do Star Wars because they were
they wanted somebody else besides Harrison Ford. Yeah, but then I forget who it was, but then they couldn't get him. And Harrison Ford's like, all right, they got Harrison Ford,
which is brings up a good topic because I wanted to question you guys on
another one was I believe for the first Batman movie, the one with Michael Keaton, they tried to get. I think Mel Gibson they tried to get to be Batman.
Who?
Mel Gibson they tried to get him to be Batman.
Really?
And the Michael Keaton one.
You know, wasn't he wasn't he Batman for something again? Or no? Yeah,
Mel Gibson never Batman.
No. But Michael Keaton, didn't he was it Michael Keaton who redid his Batman role recently? Because they all loved him, but he only did it once, right?
No, he did it twice.
Oh, did he?
Are you talking about Val Kilmer who did it once, or George Clooney who did it once?
No. George Clooney is the best. I don't know why people hate that movie.
So
Arnold's the best. Arnold's the best.
Arnold is so good in that movie.
It's time for the freeze.
Can't beat it.
It's funny because the character Freeze was this really smart, articulate, scientist,
jacked up
scientist, and they got Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's time to freeze.
Yeah, I love that movie.
They know the bridge is out.
It's so bad. It's such a bad movie.
It's not a bad
movie. They got bad nipples. Why does he have nipples on his shirt? On his suit?
Oh,
Clooney and the other guy, and then there's like a bunch of butt shots for no reason in that movie. It's a kids movie.
It's about product placement, baby. You gotta entertain the ladies who gotta take them to see this movie.
I mean, God help us all.
Did you guys hear that the best show ever is coming back, and they're doing an adult version of it?
The best show ever.
Yeah. As a kid, when you there was when you were watching Nickelodeon as a kid, there was a bunch. There was a bunch of shows that you wish you could do, like
Rugrats.
No, like competitions, like
you're talking about the temple, whatever, right?
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Yes.
And I thought it would be fun if we went over some fun. Chris, did you hear about this?
What?
The Legend of the Hidden Temple is coming back.
I did not hear about that.
As an adult version.
Oh, really?
On the Game Show Network.
And we can be on it, Chris.
We could do it.
I don't know about that.
Did you ever see The Floor is Lava on Netflix?
No.
Don't. It's terrible.
Oh, yes. I actually did see previews. It's like they got like water or something that looks like lava.
Yeah.
And you got to jump from like instrument to instrument.
It's weird. It's like a parkour bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like everybody fucking sucks at it.
And it looks terrible. It's terrible.
It's a garbage show.
Is it like a game show? Or?
Yeah, it's a game show.
It's garbage.
Fucking terrible.
It's like
they
have you seen on TBS they brought back Wipeout with John Cena as the host?
Yeah.
It's like that, except dumber.
Didn't they kill somebody in Wipeout? Like, I thought that would be it. You kill somebody, you don't get to do this again.
No, the insurance has gone down.
Insurance has gone down?
COVID.
So
it's kind of like Fear Factor. How did they not kill somebody?
Well, Joe Rogan was talking about they were close. So as a tribute to Legend of the Hidden Temple, I thought we'd go over some cool 10 facts. We don't have to do all 10, but I did read some of these, and I thought some of them were
What if people want to hear, if we go through 5 and then people want to hear all 10, they're like, shit.
Yeah, they can
tweet it out later, Peter. Peter will tweet out all 10 later on.
To get on the show, you needed to do a written test.
I was going to say sexual favor for Mark, whatever his name is.
No, Patrick. These are kids. Patrick. You had to do a written test.
There's a reason they're bringing back an adult only, Peter.
You had to run. You had to climb a rope, do pull-ups during the tryout.
That was not going to happen.
Yeah, as a kid, like we would have died.
I could have done a couple pull-ups probably.
Are they bringing back Guts?
No.
Damn it.
Let's see here.
I want to climb the aggro crag.
And so host Kirk Fogg said in the 2006 interview that the first Legend of the Hidden Temple took 18 hours to film.
For a 30-minute TV show. With commercials.
Because of production issues, the kids were so wiped out, he recalled, they were crying, they were weeping. It was like 11 at night, and we were running through the temple still.
Oh my God.
That sounds awful.
I don't want to be here. Go through the temple.
They explained, you ever watch that, and they could never get the stupid monkey right? And you're always asking yourself, why can't you just put the monkey together?
Oh, yeah, because you've been doing this
they were white.
Going for 18 hours, yeah.
You're out of gas. You get in this room. The light is a little bit funky, and you
have some fucking weird-ass guy jumping out at you.
Yeah, it's scary. They released a they released a Hidden Temple board game, and it gets a 3.8 out of 10, according to Board Game Geeks.
Great fact.
In March 2020, well, this is cool. Quibi put out a casting call looking for adult contestants.
Have you not read these before?
No. I did read a little bit of it.
You skimmed them.
Come on.
That's good. Get ones over.
I did. I like some of these. But so as a kid, that was one I really wanted to do. And so I'll tweet out this link and
so is it going to be more like a Ninja Warrior thing now?
No, I think it's going to probably be very close to the adult. So Quibi, but Quibi's gone. So somebody took it out.
Maybe it's not like a real. I mean, it wasn't the most athletically required thing. So they're going to have fat people do it or something, or normal people.
Well, I'm guessing it's going to.
I'm sure you can apply as a fat person.
Nice. I always thought that was so cool. The one I really wanted to do was the guts. Where you could you run up the mountain. And
that's what I said.
Yeah, that was so cool if they did that.
You don't remember Guts?
I remember this show.
Mike O'Malley hosted Guts.
Yeah.
Where you would jump, you do that jump thing, and you have to
Mike O'Malley.
Mike O'Malley's been on a bunch of crap.
What was your go-to?
You remember Parks and Rec where they're trying to get vans for Leslie Knope to get voters to it?
Yes.
The van dealer and Tommy Jesus already tries to sell him an idea, and he's like, "No, don't steal my idea." And then Ron talks to him. That's Mike O'Malley.
Okay.
The bald guy that's a piece of shit.
Okay.
What was your go-to then as a kid? What were your shows? Because mine and Chris were definitely Nickelodeon.
I watched some Rugrats. I watched Batman the Animated Series when I was a kid for a while.
Didn't watch
nope.
that at all.
Not superhero guys over here.
Yeah. Well, Batman's a real human being, Chris.
No, he isn't.
Did you?
He's just really rich.
Did you get up on Saturdays did you get up Saturday mornings and watch cartoons?
To watch Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
I don't recall.
We never did that either.
I got a lot of memory gaps of being a young child.
I did. I got up early to watch like Ninja Turtles and Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse that was on like CBS.
I don't feel like I did.
I always feel like it's weird because like I don't have like a lot of I don't have a great memory of my like young youth.
It's probably because you were dropped. That explains
I've had a lot of beers between them now. You know,
that's true too. I did read.
Pat's got a lot of suppressed memories.
I did read it. No. I read in an article about like one beer really kind of screws your brain up. And I was like, oh shit, what are we doing on a Saturday then?
We set ourselves back a good 5 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It helps me forget about what we did earlier today.
Are we going to do a lock of the week of the century?
For what?
You
can't pick the Mayweather fight.
Yeah, you can bet it.
There's no winners. They're not announcing a winner.
You can bet it.
Only if they knock out.
Let me get this. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who is paying $50 to watch these idiots spar for 8 rounds when they don't? It's me over. Like, all right, cool. And they're gonna walk out of the ring. There's no announcer winner. There's no judges. Who is paying? There's nobody on the undercard. Who is paying for this shit?
Somebody will.
Yeah, they're gonna. You know what they did though?
Well, that's why they put it on a Sunday night because they knew very few people.
No, it's tonight, isn't it?
No, it's Sunday night.
Oh, is it Sunday?
That's tomorrow night.
Man.
Tomorrow
night.
It
was tonight.
Tomorrow night.
Stupid.
You know they did. You know they originally came out and it was supposed to be $100, and they did a flyer to see if you'd like it, and they got no response.
Well, Mayweather's notorious for having shitty undercards. This one's even like I mean, this one's even one of the worst.
Don't they have Frankie Mir on this one?
No.
They have some, wait, check out the other cards. I think there's some decent people.
Come on, Tyrone Woodley's fighting his brother in like, what, 3 weeks?
That's more interesting to watch than this shit.
Why? I think Mayweather's got a little... I mean, there's been some real aggression there.
I'm not buying it.
Do you think Mayweather knocks him out or no?
No, not a chance. And I don't think that...
I think it's going to be a garbage... I think Mayweather's going to dance around. Yeah. And I think this guy's going to try to hit him and ain't nothing.
Yeah, he's going to try to knock him out and he's not going to get close to it because Mayweather's not dumb enough.
If Mayweather gets anywhere near that guy, he's an idiot.
Why did you go to Wikipedia to find this? Why didn't you just go to Google undercard this shit?
Wikipedia has everything.
Oh, Wikipedia.
Pat might be the worst Googler.
Here it is right here. Did I get to it? Suck it, Christopher.
Okay, let's see.
We got Chad Ocho fucking Cinco.
Oh, he's boxing!
Is boxing.
He's a cruiserweight, too.
I like it.
And then you got Jarrett Hurd versus Luis Arias. Badu Jack.
What the fuck?
Versus Devin Cola.
Wait, is Jarrett Hurd? Click on his picture again real quick. Is he an old quarterback?
No, he's got a number 1 jersey.
Okay.
Right. What the hell's a cruiserweight weight limit for Chad Ocho Cinco?
Cruiserweight limits are 200 pounds.
Okay, that makes sense.
Damn, cruiserweight.
I can be cruiserweight, baby.
So this is...
You could be fighting Chad Ocho Cinco.
This is trash. Who is buying this?
You know
people will buy it because people want to. People are curious about everything.
Do you think?
Like seriously,
is this hurting boxing?
Why? Yes, this shit is killing boxing. Well, boxing was probably already dead to be honest.
But it gives.
You know what the best part is? There's going to be a bunch of people buying this, and Chad Ocho Cinco is going to a goddamn.
Here's the real question. Though.
All these guys are going to
the real question is shit. They're making this money. Like they're getting guaranteed. Like Jake Paul and Askren got $500K last night. That's more than like top end UFC fighters get. So at what point is Dana White going to have to pay these guys more?
That's true.
Well, that's why John Jones won't. Like he's like, look, I can go and be a sideshow freak in boxing and get paid a shit ton of money.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a question of like when is like White is playing on the fact that the UFC is by far the premium MMA. No question. Like any guy that comes from Bellator goes to UFC, like they're level checked for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, like, you're going to eventually see, like, these guys, like, some of these top guys are going to be like, listen, I'm going out there, and I'm actually going up against guys that, like, are actually good. I can just go into boxing, and, like I told you, like...
Hit a YouTube star, knock him out.
Literally, there was the one where, like, Manny Pacquiao fought, like, Tim Johnson or Chad Johnson, something like, if you look up the guy, like, he lost to this guy, but this guy would have made more money had he lost to Pacquiao than winning.
Yeah.
And it's like...
That's not... Yeah, that's...
But I mean, like...
I think there's two issues. Like, boxing, the issue is that the top guys don't fight each other ever, hardly. And you're getting, like, this weird shit now.
Because everybody's represented by something else. You got Showtime, who owns people.
Yes. Well, Showtime just signed Jake Paul.
Yeah, HBO owns a bunch of people.
That's what that Woodley fights under, is under Showtime. But then you get the opposite side of the thing, where UFC controls everything. and they make the matchups where they get people together.
But they don't make any.
But the fighters are not. The fighters probably aren't getting paid what they should get paid.
No, exactly.
Unless you're really unless you're moving that needle. Like I think it's for Jones that he doesn't move the needle like a McGregor does, or he doesn't move it like a Habib. Might not be in the U.S. as much, but Habib moves the needle outside the U.S. significantly. Like
as a UFC fighter, I'm not sure why the hell I'm UFC fighting when I could be making a shit ton of money boxing,
but you have to make
a shit ton of money in the WWE.
But you have to
there's brain issues.
You have to make your name first in the UFC before you can go do it, right? Like no one cares if Tyler Woodley UFC.
Yeah, that's
you're
because what's his face? Francis Ngannou. They're like, dude, you're not gonna ever make any money boxing. Like, go to UFC because once you get into the UFC, you're gonna make good money, and then you can go from there. But you're never gonna be able to.
That's what they were saying about Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is gonna eventually, literally just outgrow himself out of the UFC, and WWE is gonna come knocking with, a $3 million contract where he's going to be able to be like, hey, I only want to work X amount of days, and he's already great talking on just in regular. So how do you compete with that if you're the UFC?
I feel like wrestling's kind of dying though.
Yeah, because they just got rid of a bunch of dudes. You see that?
Oh, they do. But they keep purging people. And
the new place keeps signing all these old guys.
Yeah, but
they're doing the same shit all these old places.
But the problem is the WWE gets all these good guys, and then they sign them, and then they get really good, and then it's the one guy they signed, Braun Strowman, I was kind of shocked that, they let him go.
That's what I was thinking.
But he was making $1.2 million a year. And it's well, you're not getting... And the other problem is those guys right now, they're not getting the live gate. They're not doing...
Yeah.
They're not doing live shows on a daily basis.
They're going to start to, though, soon.
Yeah. And you're not getting...
But isn't that prolonging themselves? In wrestling, that's prolonging. They're actually getting an off season essentially. They do TV.
Oh, these guys are probably loving it because they're only doing TV shows right now.
They might not be getting as much merch and stuff, but the bodies are not getting around.
Yeah, exactly. But once you start touring and everything, you'll see probably WWE go back and ramp up and buy get a bunch of people. And they also they are always ones that like to refresh the coffers. They feel like some people you're there and then you get stale and then
do you feel like
it's time for you to go?
Do you feel like the stars they have are not as mainstream as they were in the past?
No.
Besides Cena,
you don't hear anybody.
Cena is the last guy, right, that I can think of that's crossover.
But there's just
John Cena's done, but the only one
because I don't watch it as much. But I feel like there's not enough talk.
But you still, if you heard if it was a wrestler that crossed over, you would know about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know any other wrestlers that have crossed over at this point? I don't.
The only person none of those guys were
then again, it's not our. I don't watch it.
Yeah,
I barely watch it. I like to read, I get articles on my phone and like to read stuff about it, but I barely watch it too. I watch the AEW stuff just because they have Sting and I like Sting and I've always been a Sting fan.
Urban Meyer was on
yeah, he was in and Chris Jericho's still good too.
I've watched the biography stuff for the old wrestlers, but that's most.
But if you look at any of these things, is there a wrestler there that is crossover material that's the next Rock or John Cena who can nobody.
Even Steve Austin.
But there are some good guys that you can just watch and they put on great matches no matter who they're with.
Yeah, but I think what wrestling is missing right now is they're getting the hardcore fan probably.
Yeah.
But they're not getting the casual person that watches them.
But the problem is they've taken their idea and they've gone from we need to hit that 18 to 45 range of those demographic, and they're we're gonna go. They've gone to PG, and they're getting the people that are the kids that are from 6 to 14. So because the parents will take them out.
So is the new wrestling show the AEW? I don't know much about that. Is that more for the adults in theory?
I think so. Yeah, they do a little bit more. It's always fun. You get to see some of these guys that you don't normally see. I don't like how Sting's on there. I like Sting.
This is still 60-5.
He is, and that's the problem. You don't need to showcase him.
I watched the thing in the Under Ultimate Warrior, and Sting was there in the fucking 80s, mid 80s.
That's what he was cool with the bleach blonde hair.
But that's the problem. The problem is these guys
40 fucking years ago.
He's taking I don't think he's doing it to be hey, top guy or anything. He wants to mentor some guys. He wants to wrestle, and that's cool. But
really hasn't stayed well in his life.
You do not need to feature Sting every week.
Yeah.
There's other guys.
I would assume that the point of this place is that it's a place for people that aren't in WWE to go.
Yes,
and they seem to be bringing in a lot of WWE guys, right?
They give you more freedom, creative control. WWE has
Did they bring in the Big Show?
They did.
I saw the Big Show.
They keep bringing every old WWE guys in. It's what the fuck?
Wasn't that TNA's problem that they had?
Yeah. But the other issue is like you get crap. I lost my train of thought on that one.
We really got into the rest of it.
We're getting deep in this wrestling.
I didn't know you guys were this passionate.
I'm getting hot about it.
But what I was saying is like WWE, like with AEW, and I don't know so much about TNA. I don't know a lot about that anymore.
Yeah.
But
I saw that clip you showed of Ric Flair.
Yeah,
some guy to death.
But AEW, like they give you more freedom to do stuff, and like WWE has 3 programs. They have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And Raw and SmackDown, like Vince McMahon has like his a tight grip over, and like he kind of like micromanages it. So like a lot of people want to be in NXT because you can do a lot more. Like Triple H is the guy who runs that one.
Vince McMahon mid-70s probably?
He's like, he's pushing. He's getting close to 80.
So he's in good position to connect with the young, but with the 18 to 24.
But like that's what like a lot of the guys want to be. They want to be in NXT because you have more you have more control over what you're doing. You can try stuff and not get like lambasted. Okay. Yeah,
I'm good on that. Legitimately just put me like. I WWE for like a year.
All right, we're gonna do a Patreon for the me and Chris wrestling episode.
It was great because like there isn't too many topics where you can throw out where Peter shuts up for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and that was one of them.
We're gonna get so many emails this week of how people are so happy for the last 7 minutes.
Oh, brother. I was just trying to think like what did I really listen to this week in podcast? I listened to Joe List and what's his name?
Joe List again. Here we go.
Who the fuck is Joe List?
He's all right. He's all right.
You know, without Joe here, you're not going to get too much in this topic because
I'm just trying to think what I actually because I love watching podcasts and see what
you were listening to Bobby Lee. I know that because I heard you listen to him.
Jeselnik. Do you ever know who Anthony Jeselnik is? Right?
Yeah, he's a weird. He's like the really deadpan guy.
Yes, he's got a podcast, but he's been
he's not been canceled with his material. Like that's. Like he's incredible. I mean, he's purposefully incredibly insensitive.
You know what? Okay, so that actually brings up a good point that I wanted to talk to a little bit about. Was last week we kind of went into like a little bit about Joe Rogan talking about how people are getting canceled, like white males getting canceled, and Joe and I had a conversation about comedians saying things, and it kind of listening to myself. Like I sounded like a complete idiot because I didn't know what I was talking about.
I could tell you that.
Yeah. The other thing is,
most of us do.
Yeah, but when you're making jokes, like so over last weekend, I made some jokes that were might have been offensive to one guy. It wasn't like racial. It just this one guy.
So you offended Max?
No.
He offended me, Patrick.
Yeah, and so I had I realized afterwards I was just joking around. But that's not an excuse. Somebody got hurt by it, so I had to apologize. And thinking like, and then I heard that podcast on Monday when I was re-listening to it. I was like, oh man, I'm an idiot. Like, yeah, it's you want to be able to say whatever you want to say, but also you don't go out of your way like what Tony Hinchcliffe was doing was kind of going out of his way to be kind of a jerk. And even I get you want to be free speech, but sometimes like, hey, just like common sense. Like, can you say something without having to hurt somebody? Also, just because he said something that you might not like we don't have to cancel him. You cannot listen.
Did you also not badger the point home for like the next 20 minutes after he made
yes.
his
Yeah, yeah.
That's
1,000%.
That's probably not the good.
That didn't help either. Yeah. In my head thinking I honestly started going to one side of it, and it's like, no, you dumb. Like, where's the middle? Like, what can we do to come to the middle and say, okay, hey, we shouldn't be canceling everybody. There should be a way for redemption, or at least talk your way through and apologize. But also, you can't just say whatever you want, and if it's hurting people, we got to be kind of common sense about it.
It's got to be Ralphie May and be politically just correct. Not politically correct, just correct.
I saw something today about Kreischer. Did you guys? They're making a
yes, a movie about the machine.
Kind of.
Oh, good lord!
So it's like it takes place. Evidently, this is such a ridiculous plot that I had to remember. It takes place like something like 20 years after like the events of the machine, and they're like the people that
Kreischer's on a train without a shirt.
The people that they robbed him are coming after him, and Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker,
he's got 72.
Is his dad in the movie?
Oh. And is this gonna be like Nobody, where Christopher Lloyd?
It's supposed to be.
He's gonna bust out a fucking shotgun.
It's supposed to be a vibe of like a Wedding Crashers meets like the Hangover type thing going on, supposedly.
Okay.
Second thing I read today was that the second Wedding Crashers starts filming in August 2021. We'll be on HBO Max only, I believe.
We need to set up The Bodyguards 2.
Me and Joe have already set our date.
What date are we doing?
Oh, I'm just fucking around.
Have you cleared this with all the other people in Joe's life?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Joe, I'm number one, okay?
You keep thinking that.
Listen, I'm number one in all your lives, okay?
I love you, Chris. You're the best.
See?
Chris killing it. Look at that shirt.
You can't say no to this shirt and these eyes. That bald ass head you can say no to. But
the other thing I wanted to say was really quick was that their ballpark is really nice, Pat. It's definitely Wrigley number one.
I'll tell you a great story about this one too.
Well, I mean, there's when you look at like ballparks, you got to look at like the fact that Wrigley is
number
historic.
One.
It's like historic
number one.
But I'm saying like if you're going to like a modern stadium, like
Seattle's amazing. But you know what? Philly has a beautiful stadium. My number one is Wrigley. I think it's 2 is Philly, 3 is
well, it's also you haven't been all the stadiums, right?
Well, I'm working my way.
I bet you Yankees kind of should go to.
Toronto, the worst stadium.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Well, I mean that's kind of
the Rogers Center.
It's garbage.
You know what's a really garbage stadium too? Soldier Field.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Not a good stadium.
Oh no, not at all. Oh, absolutely the worst. And I hope they get that fixed and they don't go to Arlington and they stay in the city.
I think they're going to go to Arlington. I think the Bears are going to be sold in the near future here
because the kids don't want to hold on to them.
Yeah. No, also, they said there's just too many errors. Like there's too many people to split it off. When she dies, there's so many different people to split up. They think that people are pressuring her, like, hey, we want our money now and just get rid of it. You know, which might be the worst thing for the Bears.
That they were thinking about selling them.
Alex Rodriguez bought the Minnesota.
Did that finally go through? He was going to.
Well, they might, because he wants to move him to Seattle.
Well, yeah, he was interested in buying him, and then he was going. They were going to buy him, and then some snafu happened. I don't know if that went through or not.
He's buying as part of a group, correct?
Yeah, he's part of the group, and the group that was buying him hit some snafu or something.
You know what's great about that was Alex Rodriguez didn't stop playing baseball that long ago, right?
Yeah,
it was what?
One guy who had
and one guy, the star, I think it was Towns, maybe I forget who one of the main stars that
Towns
had no fucking clue who Alex Rodriguez was.
Who?
Yeah, but
basically.
But that guy's also played basketball his whole life. Doesn't have any time for anything else.
Doesn't care about doesn't care about baseball.
Not give a crap about.
Not a baseball fan, evidently.
Yeah.
You think you'd heard about steroid stuff? I think something with Alex Rodriguez, right? You think you heard about?
You're right.
Dating J-Lo, something.
Yeah. No, you're right though too, because that steroid stuff that's really interesting stuff about how they kind of.
Guess it wasn't high on his list of priorities to look into.
No, it was not. Well, hey guys, this was a fun one. We got some burgers to go make and some hot dogs to eat and some beers to drink. This was a great pregame for a 90-degree weather.
Some additional beers to drink.
Additional.
So thank you guys. If this is your first time listening, thank you for joining us again. Please like and subscribe. Let a friend know. Check us out on Podcast S&P for Twitter and Instagram. Shoot us an email at thesnppodcast@gmail.com. And check us. I don't know where I was going to go with that. I was going to say if you wanted a t-shirt, just hit us up. But
check later for the Twitter for Peter to all the things.
Yes, we got a bunch of stuff. I gotta remember this. But yeah.
And Peter doesn't tweet things that you're supposed to tweet in their show. Yell at him.
Yes, please, because there was a few things I go back and I'm like, oh, I didn't do that. And we'll have we'll look at the betting things for the Mayweather Logan fight.
I guarantee you it's going to go all the rounds.
Oh, you think so? I'll bet you a shot on that.
Who in their blue mind is going to knock who out here?
Mayweather's going for blood.
No, he's not.
They're saying that one guy's got he's much bigger, but
yeah.
I don't see it.
No chance.
I
it's going all the rounds.
I kind of want to agree with Chris that I don't see this not going all the rounds.
Okay, so it's two shots to one. Let's do it.
Joe, what do you think?
Good.
He's going to get back to us.
Yep, appreciate that. All right, boys. Hey, listen, everybody have a great week. Enjoy yourselves. The summer's here. Don't work too hard. And get out and enjoy this while while COVID is down and you can be outside enjoying people.
Until winter when it makes a comeback.
Yeah, Jesus. Thank you.
Joey Dingers, you are our hero. Bye!